Hey, it's Matcha coming at ya, and welcome to Steep Tea Gaming. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more freshly brewed gaming videos. This is a small channel, and every little bit helps. Now on to the review. I've played most of the mainline Kirby games, and for a while now, it's felt disappointing that it's never gotten the same love and treatment as Mario. It seems like every mainline Mario title has new fully fleshed out mechanics, making treading old grounds feel impossibly fresh. Whether it's hopping from one galaxy to the next, designing your own levels, to even capturing enemies' abilities, Mario continues to feel new. It's finally Kirby's turn, but is it enough? Kirby and the Forgotten Land is Kirby's first true foray into the 3D platforming genre. There have been some 3D titles in the past, but they have all been spin-offs. The first trailer for the game showed some similarities to Super Mario Odyssey, with Kirby having the ability to possess inanimate objects such as a car, a pylon, soda machine, on top of being able to absorb enemy abilities. There was speculation that it would also be a more open experience like Mario Odyssey, where you could tackle a bunch of different challenges in whatever order you wanted. That is not the case. It's a more linear experience like Super Mario 3D World, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just different than some may have been hoping for. There are two difficulty modes. Spring Breeze mode is the easy mode, and Wild mode is the normal difficulty mode. If you played the last game in the mainline series, Kirby Star Allies, and were as underwhelmed by that game as I was because it felt like it played itself, you will be happy to know this is a more challenging and engaging video game. So the big question is, did Kirby make a successful leap into 3D? The answer is a resounding yes. The developers really nailed the art style, level design, power-ups, and controls. It feels like the 2D experience in 3D. You're still inhaling enemies and using their abilities while running and flying from point A to point B, and I think all of this is a good thing. The graphics are cute and charming with lots of bright colors. The characters look the way you'd expect them to look in 3D, and I think that's helped by the fact that Kirby, as well as his allies and enemies, have always been simple in design. Despite the characters' simplicity, they are capable of looking very expressive at times. The environments range from a mix of lush greenery and abandoned rundown buildings to a dark and chaotic carnival and much more. The game expertly crafts a beautiful and contrasting world. When the camera pulls back, you really get a sense of scale, and these moments can truly be exceptional. The game's visuals are not without its fair share of problems though. Enemies that are farther into the distance are rendered at a much lower frame rate than the ones close to you, and to be frank, it can look pretty rough when you notice it. Now, I didn't notice it all the time, and it's more of a problem in the bigger, more open areas, but when I did notice it, it really took me out of the experience, and just came across as lacking that Nintendo polish I love. There's also a lack of anti-aliasing that takes away some sharpness from the image, and it's noticeable and is common for Nintendo developed games. The visuals are still strong overall despite its shortcomings. The music and sound effects are great. They sound like what you'd expect from a Kirby game. No more, no less. A lot of wonderful orchestral music adds to the decidedly epic nature the game strives for. In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you'll jump, fly, absorb enemies, and use their abilities to make your way through 7 diverse worlds. There are treasure challenges to unlock and complete, which are challenging mini-stages that unlock skill points to be used for upgrading abilities. These were a lot of fun, and if you're struggling to complete one, no biggie, they are all optional. There's also some pretty substantial post-game content, seeing you play through more challenging, remixed levels. There's a hub world in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. The coins you collect while playing through levels can be used to open different shops and facilities. These give you access to different minigames and unlockable ability upgrades. More on this later. The minigames have Kirby serving customers at a busy restaurant, fishing, and even tilting Kirby through a small obstacle course. These minigames are fun diversions from the main adventure, but are ultimately not deep enough to hold your attention for long. You'll also be able to enter the Battle Tournament Coliseum, where you can take on a series of foes in order to win a special prize. This is also a fun diversion from the main story, but as with the minigames, it won't be holding your attention. I mentioned earlier that it's more similar to Mario 3D World than Odyssey due to its linearity. but there is a little room for exploration. Not much, but there are optional Waddle Dees that you can discover and save, so you can find yourself walking or flying off the beaten path a little bit. Speaking of Mario Odyssey, Kirby has the new Mouthful mode, where he can possess inanimate objects which each have special abilities, like the car being able to smash through rocks, and the soda machine being able to fire projectile cans, which you can run out of, so you may want to collect some you've littered all over the stage. I like this inclusion, as it seems very on brand for the Kirby series. I mean, if Kirby can suck in enemies and copy their abilities, why not suck in a pylon, and then stab through metal pipes? It helps if you don't think about it too much. As mentioned, Kirby retains his ability to suck in enemies and copy their abilities. Only now, they can also be upgraded to be even more powerful. This means that you may not be too keen on an ability at first, but a couple upgrades later and blammo, it may be one of your favorites. I wasn't able to upgrade all the abilities during my first playthrough, so this gives me a little incentive to replay the game and upgrade abilities to their fullest. Did I mention there's a co-op mode included? Player 1 plays as Kirby, and Player 2 is a Waddle Dee. They both play differently, but are both enjoyable nonetheless. Kirby's playstyle has more variety, and I can see children fighting over who gets to play as the titular hero. It's a shame it's not 4 players like Star Allies was, but I understand the design decision. It was easy to keep track of all 4 players because of its 2D game engine. The 3D camera angles are more fluid in Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and I can see players easily losing track of their character and becoming frustrated. If you want your 4-player 3D platforming fix, you'll have to stick with Mario 3D Worlds for now. Overall, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a well-crafted and highly enjoyable 3D platformer. The main game is challenging enough to hold your attention through its approximately 10-hour adventure. The post-game content adds more challenge for those looking for it and could drastically increase your playtime. Is this enough to convert Kirby non-believers? I think so, as I found it to be the best the series has to offer as of yet. Kirby may suck, but this game does not. Have a comment or question? Leave it down below. And thanks for watching.